Yes.
Okay, I'm going to call to order the Board of Commissioners, January 8th, 2026 workshop agenda. If we could salute the flag, please. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. As a note, we had an executive session tonight prior to the meeting for legal, real estate, and personnel reasons. Before we get to citizens by request, the other night in my haste to close the meeting, forgot that I had a little speech prepared. So I'm going to read that this evening instead of Monday night. So 20 years ago, a 24-year-old was sworn into his first term. I could have never imagined I would still be sitting here 20 years later. Since 2005, I've had the privilege to serve the people of Cowan Township and have kept those citizens in my mind in every vote. In that time, I have served with 3 managers, 3 police chiefs, 5 fire chiefs, and with the addition of Commissioner Thomas, 16 commissioners. I have sat on every seat in the dais except the center seat. And with the confidence of my fellow commissioners, I now have the privilege to be president of the board. I would like to thank my family and friends for the support over these 2 decades and look forward to the term ahead with our manager and staff. We will continue to move this township forward. So thank you, everyone. Also, before citizens by request, just like to thank former Commissioner Rose and former Commissioner Kramer for joining us tonight. And then Commissioner Evans just has a little highlight from 2025 that some of the accomplishments that the board had in the previous year. If you could just read off those accomplishments for me.
I think I have the right one in front of me here. You know, a year goes by like that and you don't realize what you're doing. And so when you sit down and actually start making a list, it's like, really? We brought the township zoning update to the precipice of the finish line. The new zoning features a bold new vision for Cowan Township with a focus on Thorndale Village Center and Lincoln Highway as the civic and cultural, pedestrian-oriented commercial hub it was meant to be. Made it easier for small businesses to get started by adjusting the conditional use fee schedule to level the playing field. Expanded our focus on public safety and emergency management service by hiring full-time fighters to work beside our trusted volunteers so that they can respond more quickly and efficiently to emergencies. Reached full staffing with our police department and hired a deputy chief to be sworn in at the end of the month. Thanks to State Senator Katie Muth, State Representatives Danielle Frill-Otten and Dan Williams, we were awarded grants of $350,000 for a new fire truck and $140,000 for 2 new electric police vehicles. Cowan Meeting House Bridge was found to be unsafe and closed. Repairs were initiated and completed in under 90 days. The Cowan Meeting House sewer extension is installed and ready to connect this spring. Our new EAC not only made their presence known in Cowan, but they also received the 2025 Sustainability Award from County Association of Township, Chester County Association of Township Officials, also known as CATO. We witnessed the long-awaited groundbreaking for the new location of Farmhouse Coffee and Espresso Bar in the heart of our new Thorndale Village Center. Lincoln Highway Commission made their recommendations led to a DCED grant of $450,000 and another $1 million in pending ARLI grants. This is not the most updated one. Sorry. Where was I? ARLI grants to make it safer on Lincoln Highway for pedestrians and bicyclists. And planted the seeds for the Vision Zero program to take an interest in Lincoln Highway. National Light Out 2025 was the recipient of one of only 4 national awards in Pennsylvania and one of only 130 in the entire United States and Canada. And this is Cowan Township's 6th national award since 2014. Thank you, Chief. Ingleside Golf Course closed the year just shy of $1 million in revenue, the most ever. And for our humble public course, that's a 34% increase over our 2024 revenue. So we're on the right track there. Officially opened Cowan Meadow Park with plans to meadowize remaining acreage in the 2026 through a grant fund. Received $250,000 in county grant funding for Beaver Creek Trail with another $500,000 pending. Worked on behalf of the residents to ensure our community faces the least impact possible by the arrival of Mainline Health, while also providing specialized healthcare benefits for the township. The Historical Commission hosted the 2nd annual picnic at Spackman Davis Farm, another big success with more than 200 guests from all over the East Coast this time. The event was covered in the Daily Local and inspired a front page feature article on Spackman Davis Farm the following month in the Daily Local. Helped negotiate the dedication of the 1726 Friend Meeting House to Cowan Township. Began working towards Spackman Davis Farm designation as a Chester County Heritage Interpretive Network site and destination for historic resort tourism. Got closer to adopting the first ever Cowan Township Historic Preservation Ordinance. Recruited another highly successful small business to Cowan Township. Our strong social media campaigns have been well received and have brought us into the 21st century. Continued to build relationships in county and state level to promote Cowan as the birthplace and heartbeat of Western Chester County. And last but not least, we promoted Abby Swan as our assistant township manager.
Thank you, Commissioner Evans. Next up is citizens by request. This is for any agenda item. If anybody in the township building has any citizens to be heard on agenda items, please come up now. Seeing none. Abby, is there anybody online with their hand raised? Okay, then we will move on to the next item, presentations by TMAC.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. My name is John Meisel. I'm the manager of planning at TMAC, which is the Transportation Management Association in Chester County. I'm here briefly just to introduce myself and talk about a project that we've started in the township. It's the Lincoln Highway Active Transportation Plan. And really, it's a study that we got a grant. TMAC, I actually wrote the grant to DVRPC to get them funds for this project, which we're super excited about. And it's looking at this 4.2 mile stretch of Lincoln Highway going from the borough of Downingtown at Lloyd Avenue all the way into the city of Coatesville at 12th Avenue. So it's really Cowan is our partner on this project. The borough of Downingtown, the city of Coatesville will be involved, but you all are the heart of it. And so you all are our partners on this. And I'm not presenting anything because I'm going to be presenting quite a few things in the months to come. This is really an introduction just to talk to you about what we're doing and what we have done and what will be coming up in the next several months. We just completed an existing conditions survey. First of all, I should say I'm the project manager and I'm heading up a team of engineers and planners. So we have TMAC as the managing, entity of this project. And then we have a sub-consultant called Tool Design, and they are a crackerjack firm out of Silver Spring, Maryland that is really good at looking at retrofitting, redesigning, reimagining burgeoning suburban areas that need pedestrian, bicycle, multimodal improvements, and also looking at the bus stop realm, the public transportation realm, tying it all together, making it safer, which is really our aim. I've been working for the past several years on a number of corridors in Chester County that are similar. I just completed last year a study of Route 3 Westchester Pike outside of Westchester Borough, and similar conditions, speeding, accidents, pedestrians, and people waiting at bus stop who are in harm's way, limited crosswalks to get across, inconsistent treatments and intersections, really just in need of help. And I got a similar grant from DVRPC and did a study there. And now we're working, implementing parts of that plan. And so then we turned our attention, and TMAC has a long relationship with Don. And we also manage the Link bus system that used to go all the way from Exton into Coatesville, but now goes from Coatesville into Parksburg. But we know TMAC knows this corridor well. We're out here all the time. And, you know, in looking at the conditions on the ground, said, this is just not satisfactory. You see people, you know, walking where they're not safe, biking where they're not safe, trying to get across. There's only, you know, 4 north-south access points in the study area. And the treatments, the crosswalks, the curbs, the pedestrian cross signals, it's inconsistent. And as we all know, one of the hallmarks of a safe area is consistency, so that people, both pedestrians and people in vehicles, know what to expect when they enter into a certain area. That's what we want to bring here. And where we are in our cycle is the good thing is we've been working on this for a while. We've been working with Tool, who have completed their existing conditions analysis. We're about to enter sort of the public engagement plan process and then developing a preferred alternative, which we'll then bring to you. This grant will be wrapped up by the end of June 2026. So it's fairly quick, but I think that's actually advantageous because, you know, we can move ahead quickly. And there are other studies that you may or may not know of that are following on its heels. There's somebody mentioned the Vision Zero. That project is kicking off. So we're working in conjunction with the folks at DVRPC. And so we actually have 2 studies, which is good. I think the more, the better. It's obviously the corridor's drawing a lot of attention, as it should, because of the redevelopment, the energy that you all have put into it, but the infrastructure not matching where it needs to be. And it's apparent to a lot of us who do this for a living. So we're excited. We'll be back to you with presentations of preferred alternatives. We have an advisory board, and I've met several of you at our kickoff meeting. So, you know, we're well integrated already with the township and with Don and folks. And we have all the interested parties in Chester County, which is Chester County Planning Commission and Bike Chester County, and all the townships and everything are part of the steering committee for this project. So, you know, we've got the folks at the table that we need. It was just time for me and for us to get in front of you to introduce ourselves and let you know what we're working on. And, you know, I think we'll be back, I think early spring, we're going to be planning a public workshop to bring some ideas in front of you all and in front of the public, get some feedback, and then fine tune those as we go through the spring and then wrapping up in the early summer. So you're going to see more of us.
Sounds good.
Does anybody have any questions that I can answer?
Anybody have any questions?
Well, personally, I don't have a question, but I wanted to thank you for putting such a strong interest in Lincoln Highway and Count Township. And it's very impressed at the introductory meeting, and Tool they really are. They're legit.
I
So,
thought it was great. We got a lot of
Oh,
good
yeah.
ideas off the bat, a lot of good ideas. We went out on a site walk together and sort of got the juices flowing, got a lot of good ideas bubbling, and you know, we're going to we're going to bring those out and fine tune them.
I'll share a highlight that really focuses on Lincoln, what's going on Lincoln Highway. I was with the group that was going to walk the, essentially from the VFW to Bonsville Road. And on the way there, we were riding with, I think somebody from Tool, and we're talking about how people are always using the center lane as a passing lane and how dangerous it is. And as she was putting on her turn signal to make the U-turn, a pickup truck came flying up the center lane right next to her and almost hit us. So yeah, that's all. And Vision Zero is great.
Hey, John, do you want to make a plug about the SEPTA event on Monday? Does that tie into anything you're doing, or is that more focused on the train?
It's more focused on SEPTA bus and train updates. We're at TMAX hosting a breakfast at the Desmond on Monday morning. I think we still have a few slots open.
And I have 2 tickets if anybody wants to attend on my behalf, because I had
Um,
sent that to Don, but
so-
it sounds like a really neat event. And I thought since TMAX sponsoring it, now's the time to mention it if anybody's interested.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Thank you, Kristen. And if anybody wants some tickets, they can see Kristen. But, I think this is state of SEPTA going into 2026, where they are, where they're going. Of course, nobody knows exactly what the long-term budget implications with SEPTA are. But, you all have SEPTA service on the Lincoln Highway corridor. It's the 135 bus that actually used to be, TMAC used to run that service in the evening. It was called the Evening Link, and it was designed to bring people, workers from outside, from the western suburbs, from Coatesville, into jobs into Exton and at the Exton Square Mall, and then connect into Westchester. That was why that bus service, the Link bus service, was designed, and we still manage the Coatesville Link in Coatesville proper. But during COVID, SEPTA took over the whole of the 135 service, and we no longer operate that. But we're still in the study area because Coatesville's on the western edge of our study area, and we're still managing the Link bus. So we know that area well.
Any other questions? Any questions from the public? Abby, is there anything online? Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, and
Thank you.
we'll
Yeah.
see you again soon.
Soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Next up, Kristen Camp. We'll start with My Place.
Sure. So I'm going to just give you the introduction. I did provide to you all the final plan, PRD plan that was approved. Highlighted in yellow are the 2 proposed connections. We received correspondence from Arbor Hills Associates in October. They own the property that abuts the My Place Plan residential development. It's a parcel in East Brandywine Township, and it is a 17-acre, basically wooded lot. When the My Place, which was Dwell at Cowan was the name of the PRD when it was being developed or being approved, it then turned into the My Place. In that decision, there was a specific condition of the final PRD decision, and I gave you the pages from that decision, 17 and 18. Condition number 36 indicated that the final PRD plans depicted 2 50-foot wide access and utility easements leading from the parcel in Cowan to the parcel owned by the applicant, which is in East Brandywine. At that time, applicant did not propose any improvements within the access easements, and they did not propose any improvements on the East Brandywine portion of the property they owned. The way the condition was worded was that if in the future the applicant or its successors intends to develop anything on the East Brandywine parcel and connect through those access easements, they needed to come back to the board and basically seek your approval to do that. So the plan was designed, again, with the easements in place, the declaration that governs the community that's there does reserve for the purposes of those easements. They've reserved the right to use those easements to get to the East Brandywine parcel. So that we've confirmed. There are some approvals that are going through the process in East Brandywine. That's not anything you control, but they did need to, because of the way that condition was worded, come back to you and present to you the plan and what they're proposing to do. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ryan, who's representing the applicant, as well as Chris Daly, who's here from Hal Engineering. Hal did the plan for my place in the planned residential development. So here we go.
Yes, good evening. As you know, my name is Ryan Furlong. I'm here on behalf of Arbor Hills Associates, who's the owner of 830 Horseshoe Pike, located in East Brandywine Township. As Kristen noted, Arbor Hills Associates is proposing to develop a 17-acre tract with 7 single-family homes in a cluster development. As of now, the plan calls for preservation of 10.4 acres of open space. In order to reach the property, due to its very minimal frontage on Horseshoe Pike, access has to come through the My Place development. As Kristen noted, when My Place was being approved, these access easements or these roadways were contemplated, but my client did not know what they wanted to do on the East Brandywine site at the time. So during the approval, we were instructed that when we decide, if ever, to develop that parcel, to come back to you, present our plans, show exactly what we're proposing. And very simply, in Cowan Township, we have 2 roadways that will have public water and storm sewer within. The roadways will be within a 50-foot wide easement area. The 2 dwellings on the east side of the property will be served by a shared driveway that is will be 16 feet wide. And the cul-de-sac road on our plan right now shows the road, I believe, at 18 feet, but pursuant to one of your engineer's comments, we're going to be widening that road to 22 feet to meet your zoning ordinance standards for minimum cartway width. We have received two review letters from Arrow dated November 18th and December 31st. Reviewing them with my engineer, everything is a will comply. We don't see any issues with the comments. The one comment that really required any discussion was the note about the roadway widths. When you have a road in Cowan Township and no parking, it must be 22 feet wide. The driveway on the east side also exceeds the Cowan requirement for the width of a driveway, which is 10 feet. We're proposing 16 feet in response to comments from the East Brandywine Fire Marshal, who asked that the road be widened in order to allow fire apparatus to reach the properties. And we're here this evening just to present the plan, see if the board has any questions that we could consider and adjust before coming back to you and request your decision.
How is your stormwater and your sewer? Because the sewer is a different entity, isn't it?
So sewer, we are proposing on-lot septic.
Okay.
East Brandywine does not have public sewer. We were originally looking to tie into the Cowan PRD's sewer, but East Brandywine is not within Delcora's jurisdiction, so we can't. So we'll be having, each lot will have 2, or a primary and a secondary septic system. The water lines will be from Aqua. Stormwater management, Mr. Daly could talk to it in greater detail, but for the roadways, the driveway on the east side of the property, there's grading that will send the stormwater north and east to the basin that you see sort of to the east of lot 6 there. And then for the cul-de-sac roadway, a majority, sort of the northern half, will be captured by inlets in the roadway and sent by a storm drain to a stormwater management basin that isn't on this rendered plan, but would be located south and east of lot 5 there. And about 2,000 square feet of that road will have impervious runoff to a basin that is located, if I could approach the screen.
Yeah.
There's a basin in the Cowan PRD, I believe, in right around this area, which has capacity to capture that 2,000 square feet of stormwater runoff.
speak to the connection to the 5 lots is gonna be a private road. So the storm facilities within that road are part of the community association's responsibility. The lower portion is coming off of the main road coming in, but that driveway off will be a private stuff. That's not from the township. Will that
Correct.
make sense?
So I guess for snow plowing and things, how does that work? Because you're gonna have to rely on them clearing the main road before you can even get to your road.
So the declaration of the My Place development contemplated the fact that homes might be built on this East Brandywine site and contained a provision that allowed that declaration, sort of the pro rata share for snow plowing, maintenance of private roads, other common facilities within the Callan PRD would also be shared by these 7 homeowners.
Okay.
I have a
Micro-
question. Since I wasn't here for the original approval, is there a reason we're not coming in off of Heritage Court in East Brandywine? Which is directly to the
Oh.
northwest corner?
Northwest.
Yeah,
So we did look at that. We actually don't have frontage on that road. It looks like it, but the 2 single family dwellings that are sort of on that cul-de-sac there, their frontage actually covers the entire roadway.
oh, okay.
yeah.
I'm looking at Chesco Views and it's like
It
it
looked,
looks,
yes.
but it's not there? Okay,
No, unfortunately not.
okay. Thank you.
Anybody else have questions?
Yeah, Ryan, how large are the lots?
I believe the minimum lot area is 30,000 square feet for East Brandywine for a clustered residential development.
Which is equivalent to how many acres?
A little less than 1 acre. An acre is 42,000 and
big.
change.
Okay.
Right.
It's good to see you, Ryan.
And
Good to see
so My Place deals with the snow plowing
Yes.
themselves? Okay, so that is not a township issue?
That's correct. That was actually part of the decision, that although Gentry Boulevard was dedicated to the township, the Callan PRD will continue to be responsible for maintaining the curbing of that road, the sidewalks of that road, snow plowing of that road.
And as far,
Even if, but,
sorry.
Paul, even if Count Township had any responsibility for the roads in My Place,
Mhm.
it wouldn't extend into Ukraine.
well, that was my concern. If East Brandywine's trucks are going through our property to get to this, just to clean out roads, they're using up our township roads,
Right.
the usage.
Too. So
Okay.
are you telling me that your intention is then that those 7 will have private snow plowing? And they'll just utilize the snow plowing at My Place usage?
That's
Because that would be preferable.
Okay, and then trash removal, that's a good point too. East Brandywine would be coming in or is this?
East Brandywine would be responsible for their own trash removal. That's part of the East Brandywine tax that these properties would.
But that's what he's saying. That was one of the things
Oh.
Ray and I talked about. Keep Brandywine trash trucks are gonna be town road. I mean,
Yeah.
that happens other
Which-
times, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I understand your thought.
Mhm.
I believe our access easement does cover that. And then as Kristen noted, the trucks have to come from somewhere. They're not necessarily originating in East Brandywine, and they'll drive on town roads, state roads, other township roads in the process.
Mhm.
But in terms of maintaining the private roads within the Callan PRD, these 7 homeowners will have to share in that cost.
And you're not,
No,
so will there be there'll be a separate association for those 5 lots?
Yes. for all 7. And that association, it's a requirement of East Brandywine that association be formed and maintain the 10 acres of open space.
The the plot where the 7 are. Where where the road is being extended into the private road. That's coming off of an existing cul-de-sac
Yes,
and there's homes there now.
yes. Not, so the homes sort of border the,
A little.
Oh.
It's down here.
So the-
Okay.
And so part of the access easement also is that when we cut into that road, we are responsible for putting it back to its condition, the curbing and such that existed at the time. If there's any landscaping that is in that location, we will have to relocate it. Yes.
Any other questions from board members?
I just, it's not a lot of traffic, but it's more traffic, you know, coming through town. So.
Any questions from the public here in the township building? I know we have a hand raised online. Hi, Mark. Mark, we're trying. Just give us a second. Okay, you can unmute yourself, Mark. Maybe. Little learning curve with switching from Zoom to Teams, but Mark's hands down.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
How are you,
Oh,
Mark?
okay, sorry, little bit of learning curve.
Yep.
Well, I think there's something here to be actually really thought deeply about. We have a revitalization of the board, new president, vice president, and new member. And I think it's time to think things a little bit differently. So my point here is, okay, this is only a 7-house development and some basic easement, but it sets a precedent. What is in it for Count Township to say yes to this? We should be receiving something in turn for granting something to someone else, to another township. It shouldn't be just, yeah, okay, they're gonna take care of the snow and they're gonna run over our roads and things like that. It's time to really think about it. This is on a small scale. And I think it's a great time to start it. But we shouldn't be negotiating with developers. We should be dictating to developers, if this is what you want to do, this is what it's going to cost. And I don't think you can have any argument with that, because that's the way it is. It's going to cost us money eventually on our own roads that we're going to have to take care of at some point in time. So when we look at a project like this, let's look at it and say, okay, you want to build a small development based off our roads, getting easements from us. Easements cost money. So if we're going to say yes, how much are they willing to pay? And if you don't want to proceed on that, if you don't want to proceed on that topic, then what is the whole thing? Then we go back to the whole traffic issue on 322, which we should never forget. So that's my point. I think, I'm really asking you, I'm not trying to be a troublemaker from the beginning of the year. I'm trying to turn a new pattern. But anyway, let's think about it really. I mean, they're going to have an HOA, right? So
Yes,
the HOA is going to have to provide funds. So the HOA costs a little bit more money. These look like they're going to be pretty nice lots and pretty luxury housing. Why can they not afford to give us an annual fee in order for us to grant that easement?
So I'm being told by the solicitor, Mark, the easement already exists. They just, Kristen, if you can explain what.
When my place was approved, they reserved these easements already. So that there's no purchasing of easements necessary. The easements exist. They're recorded in the chain of title to both properties. With respect to the maintenance of the road, the township is not responsible to maintain these roads. So it's the HOAs of both communities that will be responsible to maintain these roads. So this really was something that was contemplated when the My Place was developed and planned because I think the board, I don't want to speak for the board back then, but I think because they didn't know exactly what was happening in East Brandywine, they wanted the ability to have the presentation to really understand exactly what was happening in East Brandywine. But I think it was always understood that to the extent that that property was to be developed residentially, it was going to be coming through the Cowan parcel to get there. So I think that it's not, and I just would say you have to be, I caution you about thinking that you can always negotiate with the developer. There are definitely circumstances where, for example, they're asking you to change your ordinances, they're asking you to do something discretionary, but there are codes in place, there are property rights in place, and I just want to be careful about thinking that we're going to set a tone of extracting things from developers because that can sometimes be unlawful, and I just want to be careful on that.
But I think your
Okay.
point, Mark, to your point that we should think differently going forward, I agree with you. We can do that. And this was just a discussion tonight. There's no action being taken. So we will take all of these things under advisement and we will come back at the next meeting and talk about this again. But thank you for
All
your
right.
comment, Mark.
Just one more thing. I'm
Yes,
confused then. If the easement was already there, why are we talking about it then?
Because there's a condition of the approval for the My Place, a specific condition that said that to the extent that they are going to actually construct in the easement. So the easements exist as a property right, but the roads that will be built within the easements don't exist. And the way the condition was worded was that if and when they come to actually construct the roads within the easements, they need to come back to the board and seek their approval. That was the way the condition's worded.
And I
Okay, so
remember that
these-
specifically
they-
because I'm sorry, Mark, but I got to give a shout out to Cheryl Spalding. She is the one that actually brought this to our attention during this process. I don't know if you guys recall this, but she's the one that pointed out, just be careful of what's going to be developed on this other side of East Brandywine because it's going to be coming through our route. So thank you, Cheryl. I do. Hopefully
I
you remember that, but I do.
No, I do remember that,
Okay.
Paul. I actually do remember that.
And with this project here, I recall originally it was going to be much larger, but I assume because of the limits on the sewer system, maybe it's just down to these 7 homes.
Our client was interested in doing a cluster development. Actually,
Remember that?
we
Yeah.
were originally proposing public sewer because we wanted, so the septic actually didn't dictate this at all. Our client was interested in the cluster.
Okay.
Ryan, I got a follow-up question on, and this is for Lowell as well. The smaller 2 parcel section here, on the east side of that, development. Anybody have any concern about the driveway ingress and egress being that close to the split of the main road coming in and out of the development? I mean, I know it's 2 residential properties, so we're looking at 2+ vehicles per unit. But is that any sort of safety issue with crossing it? You know, if you're going to be making the right or left turn out of there, you're going to be crossing traffic.
We won't be crossing traffic because at that point, the traffic has, come to, like, they're not separate one way with the boulevard there. But I will note that one of the comments of the Arrow review letter is that we need to show clear sight triangles from both of these roads, and that's a will comply item. Our engineer is just working on that, and we'll submit it to Arrow for their review and approval prior to your next meeting.
Thank you.
Mark, did you have anything else? Oh, sorry. Okay. We'll move on. If he has anything else, he can raise his hand again. There he is. Go ahead, Mark. Okay.
Still muted.
Yeah, you're muted, Mark. We can't hear you. All right.
Since we're waiting, I did have one other question. As far as the fire, East Brandywine, who do they use?
East Brandywine Fire.
Brandywine.
Brandywine Fire, which is around the corner, so they would still have to come up and around through, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those odd situations where they'll come through Cowan Township to get to their territory.
Okay. And
Sort of like we do for Parkside Development. When we go to Parkside, we go out of Cowan Township into Downingtown Borough, back into Cowan Township.
Okay. Mark, did you have anything else?
No, I think I said my mind. I just hope we really think about these things as we go forward in 2026 and beyond, to think ahead and realize that developers want things and we're not. Katie Muth actually had a very good discussion that showed up today with East Bradford, I think it was, East Whiteland, where they're building a data center. And she stood up to the board and she actually instructed them they're not there to negotiate with developers. And it was about data center primarily, but she was talking about housing also. And actually the police actually escorted her out of the room. And all she was trying to say was that nobody wants to live around a data center. So, but that board brushed her off. They listened, they didn't say anything, but eventually police actually escorted her out in one of these type of meetings. And I want to make sure that we're not, going forward, I just think we got to stop and pause and think about each one of these decisions we make, because they all compound. But, Adam just brought up that other easement there. I think that's a great point. To have him on the board with his insight. And I think he can help a lot. So just think about each of these developers coming across what they want and what it's going to cost us. But also, why can't we make a profit out of it? Isn't that available?
Like I said, I think we will definitely take your comment under advisement to think differently. So, but thank you for your comment, and we're going to move on to the next item, unless there's any other public comment.
Good to see you, Ryan.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Abby, there wasn't anybody else with a hand raised. Okay, thank you. Next, we have the township manager MOU.
Yes. So you have a chapter in your town code titled the Township Manager, Chapter 29, and that dictates that when you have an employment with a manager, that you have the terms of the employment set in memorandum of understanding. This is actually titled employment agreement. So this is the identical agreement, I believe, since when you hired Mr. Vizimel, and it's updated to be because any new reorganized board has to renew the agreement. An old board is not allowed to extend the term of the contract past their term. So this has to come up shortly after your reorganization. So there were very minor edits that I made, mostly correcting typographical things and things like that. So it is before you. There are real no substantive changes in terms of what the manager's duties or responsibilities or benefits and things like that. And I will say I often get the question of, is it typical for municipalities to have employment contracts or MOUs with their managers? And it absolutely is. These employees are hard to come by. It's a very, very difficult job. They're serve at the will of politicians who get elected, and you need these types of agreements to make sure that you're protecting them and getting the best quality people that you get. So I absolutely applaud you for doing these types of agreements, and I think they are necessary.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I'm just upset that we can't,
Like a 10 years.
yeah, make it a 10-year deal, but, or even longer.
Okay. Any questions from the public, either here in the township building or online?
He's not allowed to resign at all.
No. So I will entertain a motion to approve the township manager's MOU.
So moved.
Second. So moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Krista.
Thank you. That's all I have. Have a good evening. Oh, wait, did you talk to them about a date for Sheets?
I have an email that's set to go out.
Okay.
So
I'll just say before I leave, we did receive Sheets conditional use application, and we have to hold that hearing within 60 days. We received it and deemed it complete December 5th. So we're up against the 60-day clock. I did get an email from Sheets Council that they're willing to extend it if we can pick a date in February, and he had provided some dates in February. So Don will be sending that. Hopefully you guys can gather and get a date so we can get that advertised on the books. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kristen.
Happy New Year.
Next up, Township Manager, we have 2305 Kings Highway Trash Collection Agreement.
Well, thank you, Commissioners and President Young. First and foremost, before we get into that, I just want to say thank you for renewing my MOU.
All right, well deserved.
A great 2 years that flew by. We've accomplished a lot, and I'm looking forward to what we can do in the next two. So thank you. The agreement before you for 2305 Kings Highway is a little unique. We had to actually create this agreement. It's not something we've encountered in the past. In the township, if you have a residential property, you're required to, through the contract, a waste and refuse service township has, you pay the monthly bill according to the contract. In this situation, the property is on Kings Highway. You may be familiar. It's been abandoned for many years, at least 15, I believe, if not more. In very poor condition. There was a tree growing out of the living room at one point. A couple bought that property basically for land is what it was being marketed as, but they are historic preservation and restoration individuals, and they recognize that this was an historic property. And I've been in the process of bringing it back to life. I did invite them to come here tonight. They had a conflict, but I'm hopeful at the 29th meeting they can come and perhaps show a photo or two of what the work they've done. It may be one of the oldest properties in Cowan Township. So the right people purchased that building and are dedicated to hundreds of thousands of dollars of restoration. The situation that's before you is they were receiving a trash bill. They are not living in the property. They cannot live in the property. They have a dumpster. But under the ordinance, they would be required to pay that bill, and they have been for the past year. This agreement would essentially suspend the billing service of trash for that property during the period of time they're restoring it. And then as soon as they get a UNO, when it's done, it would be restored. The trash service would come back. Any money that they paid in, about $400 so far, would be credited towards future bills. So this is something that has not been done before. It is crafted in a way that it's unique to this situation. So it will not set a precedent associated with delaying the trash service for this type of property. But in this situation, it was a request that they made, and it's before the board for consideration.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
No, it's a very good idea.
Any questions from the public here in the building or online? All right. Next up, signal service contract.
Thank you, Commissioners. Signal Service is annual contract we have with them to handle our traffic signals and lights. And I'm happy to report this contract that is before you. There's no increase from the year prior, believe it or not. So this is a company we rely on when the traffic lights go out, and then they're very responsive and do good work. So this would be an annual contract renewal.
So on the agenda is here, it says discussion, but is it an action item?
We do not have to vote for it tonight. I know the board prefers to have discussion during workshops, so this can wait till the 29th.
Okay. Any questions about the signal service contract?
I don't know.
Anybody in the public? Okay. Next up, Codes Department vehicle purchase.
Commissioners, this is, I'll let Mr. Stackhouse take this. It is a request for a codes vehicle.
Yeah, Commissioners, we, as you know, we have multiple vehicles in the codes department, and we also have a capital replacement fund for those vehicles. So we anticipated and budgeted for a vehicle replacement in 2026. The reason that it's in front of you today instead of at the end of the month, as you know, probably since COVID, it's very difficult to get vehicles. When you, I shouldn't say that it's fairly easy to sign a contract for a vehicle. It's not necessarily easy to take receipt of a vehicle. So we were able to find a vehicle that's on the lot. We obviously got it at CoStar prices, and it actually is replacing a 2018 Ford Escape that we took receipt from the investigation unit from the police department during a time when we had, I believe it was like a Ford Escort, a 2006 Ford Escort, that, we were in desperate need of replacement. And it made sense at the time, but the vehicle, the 2018 Ford Escape, is really not suited to the inspector work. They go on construction sites, they go off-road. So we're looking to purchase a 2026 Chevy Colorado, and the government pricing for that is $41,000. Like I said, we do have that budgeted in the code's capital. The big reason for the memo and asking for action tonight is because we could sign for it and take delivery of it immediately.
Any questions on this?
No, the money's there and the truck is available and necessary.
All right, I would entertain a motion to authorize the township manager and township finance director to sign for the purchase of a 2026 Chevy Colorado from Fred Beans in the amount of $41,000 paid out of the codes department capital replacement fund.
So moved.
Second. Okay, moved by Commissioner Mullins, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Any further discussion from the board? Any comments from the public? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
Ray, what color?
White, white.
Next up, the Planning Commission Solicitor appointment.
Thank you, Commissioner. Over the course of the past year, as you know, we've had a number of projects come before this board and the Planning Commission board that are a little more complex. They're not clean cut. They have a lot of public interest. And at those meetings, obviously developers bring their attorneys representing the interest of the developers. While the Planning Commission has done a fantastic job in managing and asking questions about these projects and making fantastic decisions. And of course, Director Stackhouse, being involved in that process, has been just instrumental in ensuring things move forward. Having an attorney and able to advise the township, specifically the Planning Commission, on the I wouldn't say options, but the situation and alternatives, we felt it would be very valuable. The developers' attorneys are presenting the developers' interests. We need someone there with a legal background to present the township's interest. Director Stackhouse and I had the opportunity to sit down with several attorneys that were interested once in this position. And before you in your packet is a recommendation for the appointment of Mr. Jonathan Long from Belwar Kelly LLP.
Okay. Any discussion about this?
And is his appointment as needed, like on a per diem basis, for special
So this would,
projects, every meeting?
it would depend. It could depend. If it's a very straightforward project that, if someone wants, I'm trying to think of an example, just something that's pretty clear cut and that there's not much to really consider. No, I don't believe we would have him come out and attend that meeting. But as you can tell from the Planning Commission agendas, that's rare that we have one of those projects, and that's the only project on the agenda. A lot of these projects have a lot of moving parts, let's put it that way. So again, the Planning Commission has done a spectacular job. This is just adding an extra tool in our toolkit to ensure the projects that come across the finish line are the best they possibly can be.
Three.
If I can, it's worth noting that just like we do with our engineering firm, and we talked a lot about this when we were interviewing these solicitors, the majority of their time will be billed to the applicant. So when they come, if there's 2 or 3 projects, the time for that solicitor will be billed through those projects. So the only cost to us would be potentially some of the time they're talking about something that's not part of the projects. We do the same these days with the solicitor's cost and with the engineer's cost. And if you look through the last couple years, our general engineering and our general legal fees are really honestly minimal, unless it's, you know, a special project protecting the board or the manager.
Any other-
Jonathan's a good guy.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident with that.
I'm familiar with his work. He's exactly what that planning commission could use, and Ray could use.
Save us a lot in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll help the planning commission too.
Yeah.
They'll give them
Thing
some guidance.
forward Too quicker.
Any other questions? Any questions from the public? Okay, I will entertain a motion to authorize the township managers to sign an engagement letter with the law firm of Belwar Kelly LLM for the representation of Callan Township Planning Commission solicitor.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next, resolutions. We have, resolution 2026-1 Township Fee Schedule.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is the annual setting of the fee schedule for various permits and things of that sort. Really not any major changes to use and occupancy. And Director Stackhouse, you want to speak to that, about that change?
I think that unless there was another change I'm not aware of, the only change we made, you know, a few years ago, we started adding administrative fees to our permits to try to, for our overhead. One of the things we just missed over the years was when we're doing a transfer, like when somebody sells their house or their commercial property, there's a set fee to try to cover the cost of the actual inspection, but we did not add an administrative fee. The main reason for the administrative fee is, believe it or not, that's where a lot of the work is. When the administrative staff in my office gets those permits, a lot of times they have to make multiple phone calls. They have to, you know, process invoices. They have to process all the inspector's paperwork. They have to process the UNO. So we just try to recoup our administrative costs. Somehow over the years, we missed that one. So literally, we're just adding that 5% administrative cost.
It's important to note this, the township cannot make any revenue, make any money off this. This is meant to cover the cost of the work associated with the permit or activity.
Okay. Any discussion on this item?
Good.
All right, I will entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-1 adopting the 2026 Callan Township fee schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Mullen, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next is resolution 2026-02 professional consultant fee schedules.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, this is the annual appointment of the professional consultants. We rely on them day in, day out in order to provide exceptional guidance and ensure we're making the right decisions. We've been working with these consultants for many years. Their engagement rates for 2026 are included in your packet, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
I just thought about it. I'm trying to get there. Is Sienna Belwars listed in there?
We did include that, yeah.
Okay, all right. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, any further questions on that? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-02, adopting the 2026 professional consultant fee schedule. Second?
Second.
So moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Mullen. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Next up, resolution 2026-03, trash fee.
Thank you, Commissioner. This was not included in the fee schedule, of course. This is the trash and recycling fee rates for 2026. No major changes. There was a slight increase, I believe, of $1 a month
$1
associated
a
with
bill,
$1 bill, excuse me,
50 cents a month.
50 cents a month. Yes. So very small change associated with that. And that's largely driven by the tipping cost that the hauler has associated with the landfills.
Any questions on this? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adopt resolution 2026-03, establishing the annual trash and recycling fee.
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Kennedy, second by Commissioner Evans. Any further discussion? See any? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, resolution 2026-04, 2026 vehicle use policy.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is a new policy, and it, of course, being a new policy, this could be acted upon or a discussion. That's up to the board, of course. But it was brought to our attention. This is largely from the insurance providers. While there's a general expectation, understanding for those township staff that utilize vehicles for their daily activities, what's the proper way to use those vehicles? We do not have a formal policy. So they're putting together guidelines essentially for those that use vehicles during the day to attend inspections, things of that sort, emergency responders who have various vehicles. It sets up what the expectations for those vehicles are. And anyone that's utilizing a vehicle would be required to sign and in order to get the keys to the township vehicle. It was used in other townships. So it's really generally just covering the township to ensure that township property is being utilized for township activities.
Okay. What's the prerogative here? Do we want to act tonight on this? Anybody's thoughts? You all right with moving forward with it?
I'm moving
Okay.
forward.
All right, then we will entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-04, adopting the 2026 vehicle use policy.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
moved by Commissioner Kennedy, second by Commissioner Mullen. Any further discussion on this? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next is resolution 2026 -05, the 2026 hybrid meeting policy.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is a policy that was adopted, I believe, twice. Once was mid-year and then again last year. At the beginning of the year, it is general regulations and outlines the use of the hybrid meeting system now that we have it back up and running. And I know that was quite the process. But it provides for when hybrid meetings are used. It demonstrates that it's provided as a service. It's not a requirement, certain quorum requirements, things of that sort. So it's the same policy, you just updated the dates.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to adopt resolution 2026-05, the 2026 hybrid meeting policy.
I do have one question.
Okay.
The video, why is it reversed? Oh, is it? But at home they.
Okay. I didn't notice that
Is
until
that
just
weird?
now.
Yeah. Well, because I noticed, on our picture here, Don's sitting on the left. That's what threw me off. All right.
Good observation, Bob.
Just pointing out the obvious.
Good observation.
Is it? And I'm sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
So I'll entertain a motion for 2026-05.
I'll move that.
Is there a second?
Second, okay.
So moved by Commissioner Mullen, second by Commissioner Evans. Any further discussion?
None.
Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up is 2026-06, the 2026 remote work policy.
Thank you, Commissioners. This is a brand new policy, not something that the township has had in the past. And just quickly to explain, obviously, we've had coming out of COVID, there just was a lot of changes. We've now have a lot of staff with laptops. And it is feasible for some staff to work remotely. There have been situations where individuals had to work remotely for a variety of reasons. A project needed to get done. They're requesting the work over the weekend, and it was capable to do so at home. We don't have a policy in place, though, to protect the township and to protect staff if there is a situation where it's a benefit for the township and for staff to work remotely. This is not intended to establish a remote position, a remote opportunity. It is for those situations where there is a dual benefit for the employee and the township for work to be conducted remotely. Sets apart critical requirements as far as guarantee that the individual, the staff has access to exactly the same amount of information at home as they would in the township building. And it also requires that the home workspace is safe, and that we're not requesting or requiring someone to work remotely from home in an unsafe environment. So there's protections built in both for the employee and for the township. This was taken from a number of other municipalities that have similar types of remote work policies. The solicitor did have a number of comments on this, which have been incorporated into the draft that's before you for your consideration. It's not something I anticipate happening frequently, but in those few times that it does, I wanted to have some protections in place for staff, employees, and for the township. And obviously, where having Public Works plow a street from home is going to be very difficult. So this would only apply to more clerical admin employees who have the capability of taking equipment such as a laptop off work site and being able to conduct the same type of work as they would in the office in the home office for a limited period of time.
Any discussion on this?
I only read through it once.
I was going to suggest that maybe we should push this to the next meeting because the packet came out late and
Yeah.
I didn't really get a chance to review it in detail. So
Thank you.
maybe we hold this until the end of the month.
I have been told I went overboard. Our solicitor got in there. So yes,
K and L were I was looking for them in here. They were not responsible for like your electric bill and your internet bill, and that they have to talk to their insurance agent, tax agent about how that affects them. So
Mhm.
I was looking for that. Yeah, we'll do it next month. In the end of the month.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Do you have a question you have to come up to the microphone, please?
I'm short and too far away from this thing. Anyhow, Don, does the policy consider any cybersecurity protections working remotely? Meaning endpoint security detection, malware protections, VPN, so secure internet access.
I know one of the drafts did have some language in. I've been through a number of iterations of this, so
Okay.
if it doesn't, that's certainly a great idea, and we have to include that.
Yeah, and as a IT industry professional, I'd be happy to offer my services to review such policy if the board sees fit that I do so. Secondly, there's lots of differences between working on my home, personally owned device, accessing township assets versus, I take a laptop that's sanctioned here, home, to do work remote. And the same cybersecurity considerations should be advised. They should apply equally to both.
It's a really good point.
Very good point.
So
Yeah.
just trying to be safe and something to consider.
I don't think was as technical in this, if at all, so I'll make sure it's included in an updated draft for board consideration at the next meeting.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vince.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Okay, so we will send this to the next meeting. And that is it for resolutions. Next is minutes. The shortest meeting in township history,
Yes.
which I was so privileged to preside over. It was 1 minute. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from November 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Any comments or questions?
Great
I will
meeting.
need to abstain.
Okay, Commissioner Mullen will be abstaining from that.
I was not at that incredible meeting.
Historical moment.
Like that. Didn't even have time to snap.
I think that record will be held for a little while. So, I.
Explanation of it taking longer than the meeting.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-1, 4-1, with Commissioner Mullen abstaining. Next up is the January 5th, 2026, meeting minutes.
That was quick.
Is there a motion for that?
So moved.
Second? Moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Any questions or comments on the minutes?
It was a record breaker also,
Yeah.
like 13 minutes.
Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up is Finance Department. I will entertain a motion to approve checks 55,107 to 55,226 and manual checks 321 and 322.
So moved.
There's a second. Okay.
All
Jump in
right.
there, Adam. Jump in there. We're quick.
Moved by Commissioner Mullen, second by Commissioner Thomas. Any questions on the checks? Any questions from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay, so we're not going to do all of these as individual. We'll just do this. I'll read this list of liaisons and then we'll just agree to these at the end. So we have Parks and Recreation, Commissioner Kennedy, Council of Governments, Commissioner Kennedy with an alternate of Commissioner Mullen, Municipal Authority and DARA. So we're going to combine them into one. That would be Commissioner Mullen. Historic Commission would be Commissioner Evans with an alternate of Commissioner Thomas. Lincoln Highway would be Commissioner Evans and Commissioner Thomas. Ingleside Golf will be Commissioner Mullen and Commissioner Young. Planning Commission will be Commissioner Evans. Zoning will be Commissioner Thomas. Finance and Budget will be Commissioner Young and Commissioner Mullen. Police Pension Committee will be Commissioner Mullen and Commissioner Thomas. Police Commissioner will be Commissioner Thomas. Administration will be Commissioner Young. And Fire Board will be Commissioner Mullen with Commissioner Young as an alternate. Did I miss anything in the 18 versions of this that I sent out?
I'm good.
Can we have a motion to accept those liaisons and board appointments?
I'll move.
Second.
Second.
So,
Give it to him.
Adam's catching on.
yeah,
Like
moved
this.
by Commissioner Kennedy, second by Commissioner Thomas. Any other further questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. So we are going to move on to appointments and reappointments to various boards and commissions. I will just preface this by saying the board considers appointments all the time as vacancies happen. We interview people and we take those under advisement. If somebody isn't appointed to this evening, doesn't mean that that appointment may not happen in the future. We just take those appointments as they come and we take them under advisement and we continue to move forward. And if an appointment doesn't happen tonight, doesn't mean it won't happen at the next meeting or the one after that. So we will move on to appointments. We do have a reappointment to the Parks and Recreation Board. Helen Eckel. Wiener. Is there a motion to reappoint Helen? Is there a second? So moved by Commissioner Evans,
second by Commissioner Kennedy. And this would be for a term of 2026 to 2030.
Mhm.
Ready for that, Helen?
2026.
So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We do have a reappointment to the Municipal Authority. Mr. Tony DeSario is asking to be reappointed. This term would be from 2026 to 2030. Is there a motion to appoint?
I'll make a motion for Tony.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Moved by Commissioner Mullins, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Is there any discussion on this nomination?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have a couple of Historical Commission appointments. We have Patty DeFrosia. This would be for a term of 2026 to 2030. Is there a motion for Patty?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next up, we do have another commission, Historic Commission vacancy from 2026 to 2030. Is there a motion?
Adam
Who's it
Thomas.
for?
I'll take a motion from the floor.
I move to fill the vacancy with Adam Thomas.
Is there a second for that?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, and any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have Zoning Hearing Board. We have an alternate vacancy. I have an application from Mr. Rose. Is there a motion to appoint Mr. Rose
So
to the?
Second.
And that,
Discuss a little bit more about this.
I think Mr. Kramer, his reference is here, so.
Legal counsel.
So this would be for a term of 2026 to 2027. Did we have a motion? I'm sorry.
Yes, we have a
Okay.
motion and a second.
Okay.
Me and
So the motion by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Thomas. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
aye.
Next, we have Planning Commission vacancies. We do have an application from Brett Klugen. Do we have a motion for Brett?
So moved.
Second.
This would be for a term of 2026 to 2029. And moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Thomas. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, we have another term vacancy from 2026 to 2029. I have an application from Cheryl Spalding. Is there a motion for
So
that?
moved.
Second.
Motion from Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Kennedy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Those are the items I have on the agenda. And again, we continue to take applications for our vacancies on our boards. And we will consider some more at our next meeting. So if you're interested, please apply on the township website. We do interview people prior to the meeting, and we will continue to make those appointments. Any additional business? Seeing none, is there any public comment? I see a public comment.
Uh-oh.
Chuck, I just
Buckle up,
got
Doc.
here.
Yeah, there goes my dinner.
Oh, Josh.
Just state your name for the record, please.
Chuck Kramer, formerly of 2704 East Kings Highway. Josh, I know 2029, when I was first elected on this board, remember this young kid that I couldn't believe was actually in a role like this. I want to say how awesome it is to see you finally in that center seat.
Mhm.
Congratulate you for it. Thank you for the years of dedication to this township that you were raised in, and you've been serving so
so fondly. So I just want to say how awesome it is to see you there, how proud I am of you. And, you know, I can't thank you enough for the amount of time that you put into this township. And it's an honor seeing a good friend of mine sitting there right now.
Oh, thank
So,
you, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thank you
So-
very much.
So additionally, Paul, Jane, you know, seeing you guys sitting on the board and what you, how you were as president, vice president, and the time that you put in, thank you for that. Lorraine, you as well, the countless years that you've put into
Yeah.
the township on the board. Mark, congratulations on vice president and everything that you've been doing. And Adam, really, you wanted to do this, huh?
I'm
right.
here. Ethan.
Yeah. So anyway, congratulations on your election, and I look forward to watching you serve this great township. So, and Chief, good to see you still here. You know, yeah. And Abby, awesome that you're in this new role. So congratulations to everyone and all the new change that I've been away for 2.5 years, but coming back and seeing all this great stuff that's been going on in Cowan. So hats off to everybody that's a part of that, as well as the new township manager. So happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any other public comment?
Yeah, I thought during the winter you fly down to Florida, but apparently you want to come up here.
Excuse me.
It is.
Vince Rose,
Hold on
Count
one second,
Township.
Mr. Rose.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was just gonna ask, if we can get an update on the incident that occurred today in the township? Right, okay. Okay, we were just getting. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a 3-vehicle crash at the intersection of Lincoln Highway and Bondsville Road. One of the individuals passed as a result of the crash, and it is still under investigation at this point.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief, just to confirm, this is the intersection where Sheets wants to go.
Correct.
This is a problem intersection, isn't it? We've had a lot of accidents there.
We know how traffic has certainly increased over the years, and we say it all the time that when these roads were originally planned, it wasn't with this kind of volume or speed in mind.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Rose.
Yeah, hopefully we didn't bring you down, Vince. Bring us back up.
Vince Rose, Count Township on Turnberry Drive. My condolences to the person involved in the motor vehicle accident who passed away today. So that's sad to hear. So I was here to switch gears a bit. I was here the other night when the swearing in ceremonies occurred. You know, I met Josh and Chuck around the same time. We served together on the board from 2009 to 13. We had a good time, and we, you know, made a lot of good things happen and took care of some bad things that were happening. I feel honored to have served with them, and it's pretty awesome to see Josh still on the board, to his own choosing, by the way.
He loves the treatment.
I want to thank all the board members, regardless of how long you've been on the board. This is not an easy chair to sit in. I can say that because I've sat where you sat. You take the good and the bad, you deal with the good and the bad, and you make decisions with not a lot of input from the public. I'm glad to see the audience has grown a few members since I've served on the board, and that's a good thing to have because you always want input. I'm re-engaged as I got approved tonight to be an alternate on the zoning hearing board. That's how I got started. Well, second job I got started being involved in the township. And don't worry, I'm not running for commissioner. So I just felt the need to give back a little bit and get involved, and Josh twisted my arm, and really had the pleasure of getting to know Don over the last several months. Truly a breath of fresh air in every way possible.
Yeah.
Change isn't always good, right? I'm always change for improvement. And, you know, someday in 20, 30 years when Don retires, his replacement will have big shoes to fill.
Yeah,
for sure. So Don, thanks for your service and dedication to this township. and just your, I don't know, you bring just a great vibe to everybody that deals with the township. So appreciate that. We haven't had that in a long time, and I'm happy that it's here through your work, your presence, your personality, and just your presence and being here. So thank you. Abby. Awesome. Congratulations on your promotion. Well deserved. I know you didn't want that when you started here. I get that, but hey, things happen, kiddo, right? I mean, come on. So awesome that you're here still, and I hope you stay for years to come. So thank you for everything you do. And Joe, great to see you. Josh, Chuck, and I were on the board when we hired Joe. And I don't know, Joe, you're still here, man. That's awesome. So thank you. Yeah, yeah. So I think it was 12, right? Or 2012. Yeah, and Lorraine was on the board at the time as well. So thanks for your service, dedication, commitment to the community, and please pass that along to your entire department. I know there's been a lot of, retirements and new people coming in, and please thank them for their service. It's not an easy job, especially in the climate we live in today, and always thinking of them, and be safe. Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
Thanks, Vince.
Anybody online? All right, with that, I will take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second,
Third.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
And that gavel.
Yes.
All right, go Josh. First night, these are
Thank you.
yours, right?